Let's do it again, guys. Today we are doing something pretty special, which I always say that. I know that. But this one's really cool. This is the first time I've ever done a review of this distillery. So take that. I got a cheeky little sample from my buddy over at the Chill Filtered podcast. And this is 13th Colony 113. Let's get into it. All right, if you guys don't know 13th Colony, they are out of Americus, Georgia. And what they are doing is they are procuring barrels and aging them both in Georgia and where they get the barrels from. Some say MGP. I think it is MGP. But what this one is, this is a limited release that is not even out yet. And that's why I wanted to get this out. Brian over at the Chill Filtered podcast, I don't know if you can see the special blend that he sent me over a sample of this. It hasn't even came out yet, but what this is their 5 to 6 year old bourbon finished with maple staves. Yeah, so let's get into it. It's going to be real fun. Obviously it's coming in at 113 proof, right? Why wouldn't it be? So being that it's an MGP mash bill, right? I don't know the exact specs on the mash bill. It's probably 75, 24, 21, 4, the basic mash bill. But I'll be able to tell you. What they're doing is this is a smaller batch that they're doing, and it's a special release. And it was supposed to be one of the lower entry bottles, where you could actually get it. But it is a 2025 release, and it does say limited release. So I don't know if I thought it was going to be a shelfer, but obviously it doesn't look like it's going to be. It will be hitting stores soon. I'll have it up here when they're supposed to hit the stores. But let's get into it. I'm really excited about this. I've never been able to try. I almost picked up a 13 Colony cast strength, I think it was, or whatever. I was looking for the double oak, right? That's what everybody goes for. But let's see how this one sticks up. On the nose, it's really light, and we are going to rate this. On the nose, it's really light, actually. It has some brown sugar, almost like, oh man, it's giving me a slight, and this is very slight, amberana note, but not like the cinnamon, but like that pastry, cinnamon pastry, but not super cinnamon, not like Red Hots or anything like that. It's kind of giving me that on the vibe. All right, let's go on the taste. Okay. This is the first drink of the day, so well, it has a pretty good finish on it as well. There's not really a whole lot on the palate that I'm coming across with. It's your typical bourbon vanillas. A little bit of cherry, but it might be turning into more like strawberry, maybe even like a strawberry Laffy Taffy or something like that. And then the finish starts pretty early. The middle, it's not really oily as I would want it to be. But then the finish starts and it just gives you this, I'm going to say maple syrup because that's what is coming to my head because of the maple stave finishing. They did spirals and they stuck them in the vat or in the barrel or whatever, and for an indeterminate amount of time. I think it was like 3 months, something like that. So it did get some, some actual finishing on it. And then going back to the nose, now I'm getting more of that, just an inherent sugariness to it. It's really nice. So let's go ahead and rate this. And the way I rate things, obviously, I rate on nose, taste, finish, and would I buy again? Or in this case, would I pick up this bottle? So let's go. And I have my handy dandy pen and note paper just to write everything down. And it's 1 to 10 on the scale. So 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. We're trying to get to 40 on a bottle. Man, that's really nice. The nose is really nice on this. It almost gives me a little bit of black tea, maybe even a little bit of Earl Grey tea or something like that. I drank it instead of rating it. I'm sorry. I wanted to get into it. Okay, so on the nose, from what I'm getting, I'm going to give that a 8. I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. And the nose is, you can sit with it for a minute, and that the proof doesn't overwhelm you. So let's go in on the taste, and then I'll get copyrighted for playing the music louder. So here we go. Man. Okay. Now I'm getting more of that maple characteristic. Obviously maple, sugar maple, whatever. The maple is where you get maple syrup from, right? So it has that flavor. Now it doesn't taste like maple syrup, obviously, but it has that sweetness and almost that, I'm going to say molasses for lack of a better word. It is super nice. It is cohesive. It's sitting on my tongue a little longer than the first sip. Sorry, I've been working outside. The wind's been blowing crazy, so my hair's a little mess. I'm going to give it a 9. I really enjoy the taste on that. All right, so let's go in on the finish. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but fortunately, I get to have another little sip and then and let you guys know what I think. Man, the finish is pretty long. Still developing a little bit with, now it's that brown sugar, a little bit of molasses, like a molasses cake or one of those brown sugar molasses cookies at the very end. Because I'm getting a little bit of grain influence as well, which I like. It's not as dusty corn as I thought it would be, so it might not be the 75% corn mash bill, but I feel like the finish is really nice. It lingers for a little bit. It doesn't cut off. And then at the very end, you get a little bit of that ethanol proof on the back. So I'm going to give that an 8.5. Yes, I am. Okay, let's talk about, would I buy this? Or would I buy it again? But, you know, it's a little cheeky sample that was sent to me, and I appreciate it so much. And I will have Chill Filtered podcast link down below because they're doing some amazing things. Go follow them. Would I buy this? Absolutely. I think I would. I've never had a 13th Colony. I'm not purchasing a whole lot of bottles this year. Financially, it's a little bit more of a hit. But would I buy this? Yeah, I would. I'm going to give it an 8 on would I buy again, because I feel like for somebody who wants to try a finished whiskey, and I think it's about $60 for a craft finished whiskey, that's pretty good. 13 Colony has been knocking it out of the park with their releases. I have a couple more releases that I want to get into as well. I really can't wait to see what they're developing into. It's really cool, the stuff that they're doing. So yeah, so the total will be up here, over here, but you know what I mean. Yeah, really good, really good. I would definitely pick this up if you find it and you like that. It's not like a finish like a honey or even like a Amberana or something like that. It's more subdued than that. There's just an inherent sweetness, and I just contribute it to maple because obviously it says it in the title, you know, it's maple finish. So you're like, okay, well, I contribute it to that. But I could be torn that it might be like brown sugar, you know what I mean? So just take that for what it is. A little molassesy on the back end. Really nice, really great. So if you like this type of content, and if you want to give me a follow, a like, a subscribe, do all the algorithm-y things so that YouTube and everybody else can see what I'm doing, think about that. Think about doing that. And please, I'm trying to get 13 Colony on my podcast as well. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But if you want to support monetarily, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/whiskey-shaman, where you can get before the scenes exclusives. I send out samples to them, you know, all kinds of stuff. So if that's something you're into, it is a monetary investment. But if that's something y'all are into, please head on over there. I want to thank Chill Filtered again for bringing me over these samples, this sample, and letting me just try it, because I love trying new things and different things. So y'all be good, be nice to each other, drink water, and until next time, keep your spirits up. Peace.